start. Here we go. Everybody's ready. I'm not ready. I'm not even wearing pants, but let's ignore that. I am Josh of JBauerart, back talk with Bauer. All the damn names I can come up with. I've got way too many anymore. And I'd like to welcome you to Back Talk with Bauer. This is a crazy, wild show. Not really that crazy, not wild, but I randomly wrote people in to interview them and bug the hell out of them. Lately, it's been old friends. I'm starting to make new friends, which is actually the people I am chatting with tonight. I have not met these people in person yet, as far as I know of. Sometimes I forget, but I have been meeting new people because of CyberCon and the craziness that is going on this weekend. And we are, I've met them a couple of times and I've checked out their show. They're a podcast called It's All Fine in Danjee. They're a really cool couple that are doing their own podcast. And I am stalling right now because I see Dan running around down there. And he thought I was going to let it go, but no, I'm just going to call him out. So let's bring him on up and we will start this fun times. All right. 3, 2. I didn't say the one. Yay!
All
right. Hey guys.
Hi guys. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. You know, always. I have no idea how to start this damn show, so it's going to be different every time. But I think it's more fun.
Perfect. Yeah, it's variety.
Who knows?
So welcome to the show, guys. Thank you so much for taking time and doing this crazy crossover show that we have going on.
Yeah. It's our first ever, so we're very excited.
Mine too. This is very cool. So if you don't know what the crossover is or what we're talking about, we're starting off with Back Talk with Bauer, my show, and I am going to be the interviewer and they're going to be the interviewees. And then we're going to take a little 30-minute break about 8 o'clock, and then we're going to hop on to the It's All Fine in Danjee podcast stream, and they are going to be the host and interviewers, and they're going to interview me about my craziness and art and all that good stuff. Yes. So it shall be a lot of fun. So let's get right into it.
Shall be.
When did the podcast start?
Well, we've been at it almost a year now, I believe. Wow. Actually, I wish I knew the very first date of our first one, but it was in April. So we did start in April, and so we're about at our 1-year anniversary. So about a year ago.
Exactly 1 year to the minute right now.
Nice.
We should have been prepared for that. Yeah.
Real quick, just for all you nerds out there like me, crossover is a comic book term.
Yes.
As far as I know it anyway.
As far as I know it too. Usually it's the CW shows.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I just remember when I was a kid, there would be like a Spider-Man comic and it would say like Fantastic Four crossover. And if you bought the Fantastic Four, it had the same story from like another perspective. It was pretty cool. That's kind of what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't know that. See, I'm learning something already.
We're learning all kinds of new things. I've been learning new stuff about new people. So it's fantastic, educating the masses maybe. So you guys have been going about a year. How many episodes is that now?
50.
Look at the calendar.
58.
56.
56.
Yes.
I'm looking
Between
at the calendar.
58 and 56, so 57 and a half.
Yeah. So when we interview you, we'll post that as our podcast this Thursday, and that'll be episode number 57.
57, yes. So I am a digital guy, and she likes to write things down on like actual paper or whatever.
I have a pretty little calendar.
So I look up at the calendar and I see episode 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59, and I picked the wrong one.
Yeah, and it's on the day. It's on the actual calendar on the day, Daniel. Come on. That's an old-fashioned calendar. You know how they work.
I kind of know how they work.
I think he does.
So a big shout out to Sage and the Hanging with Web Show crew for all the shares. My computer over on the side here is just ding, 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 ding with all the shares.
Very nice.
Yes,
thank you
Sage
so
has been
much,
giving
guys.
me a lot of information about CyberCon, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Oh, yes.
We're going to get into when we talk to you, definitely. But
for sure.
It's something new that we've never done as well. I don't know if you guys have done something big like that.
Not to this extreme. This is definitely going to be new territory for us. So hopefully it all goes well. I'm sure chaos will come in here and there, especially when it's my time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And hopefully all the internet.
Bless whoever is organizing all that, because there's a lot
that would be
of
Hanging with
stuff
Web
going
Show.
on.
I helped come up with the idea, but basically I said, hey, this would be cool. And then they turned it into this beast of a thing. And they're like, you gave us this idea and tried to blame me. I'm like, no. Mine was small, very tiny idea. of just like doing some
I
private
wanted to
stuff.
keep it
some stuff.
intimate. You
Yeah.
guys did this.
You invited the whole freaking world, so
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah. We're excited to be part of it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, and we'll definitely get into it a bit more, but I want to make sure we talk about you guys plenty. So with 50, well, there was a lot of numbers thrown around. 57,
56.
I'll be 56, and I'll be 57. Okay.
That's right.
So with 56 episodes, like, is there a favorite episode so far?
This one tonight that's coming
up. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Good one there, Daniel.
Nice save.
I would say, I mean, anything for me that's like geared towards like health, fitness, or eating good is kind of like some of my favorites. But I would say I don't really have a favorite. I love so much that we've met so many like just new people from all different walks of life. And that is my absolute favorite part about it. And we've learned so much too, just from traveling and going to different farms, different businesses, meeting, people that entertain. And it's just been this real, like, what do I want to say? Like kaleidoscope of people that we've met. And it's been pretty amazing.
It really has.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, what's funny, and I don't want to jump ahead of your questions, but
you're good.
We didn't anticipate that part of it doing the podcast.
Yeah.
So we could talk about why we started it, but we didn't anticipate, and I don't know why, but we really didn't anticipate just how fun it is to meet new, interesting people.
Right.
We've made so many friends from this, and it's been like sort of, I call it like the collateral benefit, because it wasn't really why we were doing it. And we were probably 10 or 15 episodes in, and we were talking to each other one night, and we were like, think about all these people that we've met, that we've connected with each other, that have started doing business together, that are in constant communication with us, and also the stuff that we've learned, like Anjee said. Every time we leave one of the interviews, we feel like we've learned something about a profession or a local business or an artist or a charity organization. And it's just that part of it has been very fulfilling. That was sort of an unexpected bonus of the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm kind of learning with mine, because this is officially episode 3, but technically 4, because I did one on Instagram before. But it's been really, like, even people I've known for a little while now, like Amelia on the first episode, I never knew she lived in another state before Florida.
Yeah.
So, I'm always learning stuff. I'm learning stuff about, like, you guys and Thomas from Thor Talks to last week. It's been really cool. I'm getting to learn more about people, about friends of mine. So it's very interesting. Now,
I love that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, you guys, hey, what's up, Pizza Peisenberg? Good to see you. Chris Coleman from Funny to Inform. Pizza Peisenberg. Oh, yeah. Him and John Hanan will be part of the podcast Super Show Saturday night, CyberCon, hosted by me and a bunch of other folks. But I wanted to give him a shout out. So you guys kind of touched on it a little bit. You seem like your podcast is a little about everything. Is that correct?
Yeah, we tried to, really the main reason why we started the podcast was that we wanted a way to hold ourselves accountable for being more involved in the community. And really that started with like getting involved with charities and stuff like that, because we had been saying it and not, saying that for years. Oh, we want to get more involved in the community. Well, you do a whole lot of talking, and you're not, like we say, we're not walking. We're
not walking the talk. That's
there we go.
We're not
walking the talk. I lost it.
but that's, we had the best of intentions, and much like many people around Christmas time or whatever, I would go and try to help raise money or gather toys or bring things to some of the charitable organizations around here. But, that would be it for the most part. And we'd want to get involved, and we'd want to go to this community event. We'd want to volunteer, and we just, we would find other things to fill our time with. So we found that when we go and we interview a local charity or a charitable organization, and they say, oh, we have an event coming on Saturday, you should come. And we say, oh, we'll be there. You better be there if you tell your audience that you're going to be there. And it was a way to hold ourselves accountable to follow through with some of that stuff that we wanted to do. And I'll say, back to that, what was your favorite episode thing, meeting with people in person, that there's a huge value in that. I know we're doing the best we can right now with everyone having to be remote, but I can tell how much I miss that now that we haven't been able to do it. Like we were doing before. We'll pack the whole thing up, all the equipment, and go sit out on a farm, or go sit in a studio, or like an art studio, or different things like that. And we're looking forward to getting back to doing that. But it doesn't really. That was one of my favorite things about going out and meeting people. As much as we love our new studio and we like people to come see it, it's fun to go to your business or where you work or where you do your thing too.
Yeah, because we've traveled actually. We've been to North Carolina to interview a local brewery up there.
Yes.
But it was actually someone who Dan used to work with, so we knew them. But we're like, hey, what a cool opportunity. We get to go to Asheville first of all.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's always a plus. But then we get to go and support this local brewery up there. That just somebody doing something that they love to do.
And
so
we got
that
to
was
get
pretty awesome.
a bunch of beer from the brewery.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
And I got to play with the bees, which I was very excited about.
Yeah. She got stung.
I did.
Oh.
But it's okay. It's okay. I feel bad for the bee. The poor little thing got caught in my hair, but I got to actually go out to the beehives. They have beehives out on the farm. So experiences like that.
Yep.
And I think the other thing that we're really finding too is being able to support like local artists such as yourself or local businesses, especially right now during this time that we're going through, these small businesses that are struggling.
Yeah.
We've really been focused a lot on that with, the Facebook Lives we've been doing is, are you going to your local places? Tell us about local places. We want to talk about it. So that has been a big driver right now for what we're chatting about on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And making the trip, like we were talking about Tornatories. So that's an example of where we will post, we will push, we want to get Denny on the show, but we'll also go there and get food. You know what I mean? So that's the walk and the talk thing.
Yep.
It's and plus, there's a bonus there too. We get the good food. So
that's always nice. Yeah, I miss going out and live painting at different restaurants and stuff because I was able to get the food and enjoy it and the scenery and it was just like I haven't done it in forever because I haven't done it, before all this started. It's been a little while, and now with all this going on, it's like, man, it has been forever. But I'm still trying to support all of my local places as much as possible. We're eating out at least, getting food from one place every weekend to at least get out there. So
nice.
They're causing all kinds of problems in there.
What are you guys doing over there?
It's Coleman, it's Peisenberg. He's always got
what? So Chris said y'all meet Denny. So the funny thing is, we went there with the Kitchen Killers after we had them on our show, and they mentioned the place and whatever, and we really hit it off with those guys. Those guys are awesome. Those guys and gal, and so they invited us out to dinner there one night. We went and. We're impressed by the appetizer. We're impressed by the wine. Oh yeah. And the guy Denny comes out, to say hi and everything. And about 4 minutes in the conversation, I realized I've known him for like 15 years, maybe.
Oh wow.
So I didn't recognize him, and I only knew his first name. He used to actually do bartending for my parents. So it's a very small world.
Yeah. You just never know.
That's awesome. So speaking of our crazy crew of the Kitchen Killers hanging with Web Show and all that, how did you get roped into this this crazy group?
So I believe it was Jen. I think it was Jen that reached out to us, and
amazing
she found out about It's All Fine and Danjee from the podcast Mafia.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, she reached out to us and asked if we'd be interested in Kitchen Killers being on our show. And I looked them up and I'm like, heck yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's like a pretty cool concept. And then Dan's like, oh yeah, I've heard of those guys before.
I've seen their videos before now. Yeah.
Oh, very
so
cool.
I'm like, okay, so we arranged to get them on the show. Commodore was out of town whenever Billy came on, but we're going to have them both back on again. And that is how we met them.
Yep.
And then
Nice.
actually Hangin with Web Show, you already knew about them from...
Well, I knew about Hangin with. So you were talking about supporting local artists, and that's
Right.
near and dear to my heart because I am a local artist. I'm an author of fiction novels.
Okay.
And I go by Daniel. And there's a funny story behind that.
Professional name.
Really quickly. No,
Yeah,
there
go
was
for it.
as I was getting ready to publish my first book, I found there was another author out, Daniel Fox, pretty popular. I'm sorry, Dan Fox, which is my normal day-to-day name. So I went by Daniel, only to find after that there's also a Daniel with a bunch of fantasy books. So I should have just stuck with Dan.
Too many
But
Daniels and Dans and all of that.
Yes.
But as a local artist, we were doing a book event, and Anjee was with me. We're at like a book fair, and I was selling my books with a bunch of other artists, and Hangin with Web was there. That's how I found out about them. They were interviewing people.
I think it was down in Tampa. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was 4 years ago, maybe.
About 4 years ago. Yeah.
It's a crazy. Oh, there's Jen. Hi, Jen. We were just talking terribly about you. I mean, wonderfully about you.
Never.
Never about Jen. She can kill you just with social media. She's like a social media spy. So, and she's been in jail.
Amazing. Like
she's been in Facebook jail tons of times.
Oh, I bet.
Well, Jen has been like in, watching our Facebook lives. And then when we talk about something, all of a sudden I'll see that she's like popping up a link to it. I'm like, oh my God, this chick is the bomb. I can barely even see the comment. She's like posting stuff. I'm like, thanks, Jen.
Her and Terry MacGyver, I don't think ever sleep. They are on everybody's feeds at all times. Yeah, it's like, take a nap, go lay down somewhere.
It's okay. It's really okay.
It's awesome. It's
squeaky
fantastic.
Chair. Squeaky chair.
Hey, that's your trademark.
Squeaky chair, man. I need a new one.
You don't want me to fix it. It's your trademark now.
Yeah, I guess.
It's all part of the show. Yeah. We'll have shirts made, Anjee and the squeaky chair.
A hashtag squeaky chair.
I've been trying to figure out what graphic to draw for our T-shirts. I'm going to draw a squeaky chair.
Squeaky chair.
There we go.
With sound coming out of it. That's it.
So, like, I've known some of your guests you've had on. You've had one half of the Kitchen Killers. You had, what is it, Horror Shop of... what's the
Coffee Shop of Horrors?
Coffee Shop of Horrors.
Nick.
What other guests have you had on?
Oh my gosh, the list goes on and on and on. Well, at the beginning, I'm like a very themed person, so I wanted every month to have a theme.
Okay.
That gets a little challenging to do when, schedules don't match up, but we've done pretty good with it. I mean, we had a whole month where we focused on like charities and philanthropy, where we really tried to focus on local small charities because they never toot their own horn, right?
Okay.
People don't even know they're right there in your backyard, and they're really ones that need the most help.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a whole month of that. We had Bags of Hope, Central Florida on.
We had a month of
now my brain is going.
Are you trying to think of the
I was trying to think
like
of
the charity?
Who else we had on that month. But anyway,
we had the IOA 5K people on.
That was our very first. We had the people that represent IOA 5K, which is the big run down in Orlando.
Yep.
We've had local artists on, like Atlantic Alibi, Kitchen Killers.
We've done months, and it's funny because Josh made the same noise I made back when we were doing themes because it was difficult. You're finding people's schedule, and we're typically booked out about 2 months now, sometimes 3.
Wow.
And when you got everyone's date picked and they've got their schedule put together, it's very hard to get that all set up with the theme sometimes. And sometimes you're stretching it with the theme a little bit, but it was fun. But
they made a shoe once of a, and there's some things, and it
totally
goes together. Just,
Right.
That's right.
But
That's right.
We have
wore a shoe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've done months of like health. Anjee's a health and wellness coach. So we've done months where we are meeting with alternative medicine doctors or local gyms, kind of to get people kind of back in we did that for New Year's to get people back into the act of being more, to working out more, to eating right, those kinds of things. We've done months of meeting with local authors. Obviously, that one was really fun for me.
We try to switch it up to where, we have a little bit of interest for both of us. It's all interesting to both of us, but, I tend to lean towards more of the health and wellness, alternative medicine, local farms, things like that.
Yeah. Right.
And his tends to be a little more towards the creative side. So we just kind of mesh those two together.
And it works well because sometimes we'll find that we're meeting with a local farm or a local artist and there's an overlap a little bit. Maybe the local farm, they've done some really creative things with their business, and maybe the local artists have gotten involved in charities or have gotten involved in local businesses. So the whole thing kind of ties together.
It really does.
Cool.
That part of it's been really cool. We've met with some pretty interesting guests too. We met with the Vocational Academy of Makeup and Prosthetics, or VAMP for short.
Have you ever heard of VAMP?
I might have.
This is a school where they teach how to make like rubber masks, but also how to make like movie grade special effects.
Yes.
Prosthetics for the medical field. and it's a full-blown college. You get a degree from it. You get quick placement because of all the stuff around here. But their school is in an old funeral home. So
how awesome is that?
It is,
yeah,
that
what
is
episode?
wicked.
We should tell the episode.
What
number.
episode was
that? Episode 28.
Yeah, you should check that one out. It is really cool. I mean, they teach like beauty makeup there too, because that's a part of. Sometimes you're going to put you're going to make a scary character, but it needs to look like a little glam. So they teach the beauty makeup part of it too, but it's the prosthetic stuff that they teach that's amazing, and those special effects.
Yep.
And one of the really cool things that they do is they do those simulated disaster events that they do. It's like where maybe there's an airplane crash, right?
Like for paramedics.
And they're training paramedics and nurses how to react in a chaotic situation like this. So these students actually make up wounds, real wounds that bleed, gashes, and how would the nurses on staff or the ER doctors, how would they treat the patient?
Yeah.
So how cool is that
really
to be
neat.
something? I mean, that
kind of gross, but really
cool.
neat.
Kind of gross, but really just a very cool thing that they
and I just keep
their
getting
skills to help.
I just see like a teacher standing there, and there's like a person like all done in a werewolf, and it's like, okay, the werewolf looks great, but I really need the eyelashes to pop off of her. So could you get your shit together?
Yeah, you might have an alien, but you want her to be like a sexy alien.
Yeah, it's got to be sexy alien. We're trying to get the Captain Kirk, get him all excited.
Yes.
I think that one kind of was especially fun for us because we are huge Halloween nerds. We dress up for Halloween. We won the Velvet Sessions Hard Rock party and some of the other ones, and we to go there and see that stuff. But these are all examples of what I said before, like meeting people. Now we know the people from VAMP. We stay in contact with them on social media and such. But, and we point people to them like we're doing right now. It's just another example of some of the benefits of doing the show.
Right. So we gave out one of the episode numbers. Where can everybody find your episodes real quick so they can, go and find that specific one?
Sure. So you can go to findandanjee.com. I think you have it rolling across the screen here at the bottom. On our website, we have a link that will go out to the podcast. And the reason I usually point people to that, you can go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all the standard podcast apps. But if you're not familiar, quick and easy, you can do it on your phone. You can do it on your computer. Just go to findandanjee.com and there's a listen now button, or you can go to the episodes tab and you can actually see pictures of all of our guests and some of the stuff that they talk about. When we interview them, we put links in every show for all that stuff. So that's Very where cool. You can find us. It's also where you can reach out if you want to be a guest on the show or if you know someone that you think would be a good guest for the show.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Now, we're on the subject of guests. Do you guys have any guests like that you're trying to get, like hunting down, like a dream guest or anything like that?
We do. We said one of the things we wanted to do this year was we wanted to get a local celebrity on. And I know the guy, and I've known him for years, but kind of socially knew him through a friend of a friend, and we're friends on Facebook. But Carlos Navarro, he's a local actor. Yeah. Yep. So he's been on Walking Dead. I think he's currently on, he was on the HBO show, The Outsider, that's airing now.
Yeah.
And really
Monsters
great guy, very positive. But what's that?
Monsters in the Morning.
Monsters. And what's funny is I've been listening to him since way back when he was a kid. He was probably 18. He Black Bean on the Monsters.
Right.
And I had a friend that worked there, so I met him a couple of times, and we kind of remembered each other, and so we were Facebook friends. But Anjee reached out to him a few weeks ago and said, hey, we wanted to get a local celebrity on the podcast, and he messaged back and said, say when. So we're excited about that for sure.
We just got to coordinate the dates because I know he's busy and we're all locked down right now. So we'd love to get him in the studio because he has a lot of energy. You know what I mean? Being around that is just fun. And, it's just, it would
awesome.
be a great interaction. So that was our goal this year, is to get a celebrity on. So he's and we would rather do a local celebrity, because we do talk about community and supporting our community. What's a better way to do that than support somebody right in your community that has been successful at what their goal was?
Exactly.
I mean, how awesome is that?
Yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah, he is. And honestly, if we had a celebrity from somewhere else that reached out to us, surely we would have them on the show. But otherwise, it really doesn't make sense for us to go look for someone that's not local, because that's really a big part of what we're all about.
Yeah.
Right.
To the top.
To the top, never stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I got to meet Carlos. I got to meet him once or twice, and once it was during when they were still doing the celebrity bowling tournaments. And
cool.
I got to meet him then, and it was like right before then we were doing MegaCon. I was there as an artist one year, so Carlos was doing like the shout outs to people every week. So I messaged him. I'm like, hey, could you shout out the artists that are going to be at MegaCon? It'd be really cool to make sure people know to go and see the local artists and everything. Yeah. So he gave the shout out and even said my name and my website through it. So
I love that.
Yeah, ever since then he's been super cool. He came over when I did the bowling tournament. He came over and checked out my artwork for a little bit. So he's a very cool dude.
He's a really good guy, and he's very talented too. We've seen him do the comedies, we've seen him do the serious stuff, and it's funny. I know him, and I've been watching him and his family and his little daughter grow up on Facebook, and we comment on each other's stuff sometimes. So whenever he was on The Walking Dead, which we watch with my daughter, I would be like, I would annoy the family because I'd be like, hey, look in the back, there's Carlos, and rewind it, and they're like, you've said that 10 times.
We've seen him. We saw Carlos. Like, we know it's Carlos, but he would. There's Carlos.
And that's the ridiculous part. Whenever he's on something that's real dramatic, like he's on The Outsider, and he's really good in it, but I get like nervous for him when it was his scene. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, don't mess this up, even though it's recorded.
And guess what I did when I saw him? Dan, there's Carlos.
So,
I had to pay him back.
He's seen a lot of success, and I think it's well deserved. He's been working hard at it for a long time.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So this is going to be a random weird question, but I saved it just so I could be. I saw a post that you guys were working on a puzzle last Thursday. Is that correct?
No, we're not going to talk about.
Well, we weren't. As much so as Dan and his daughter were. So this was a puzzle that Dan bought for me for Christmas.
Okay.
And I opened the puzzle, and it was of Tangled, because that's one of
That's what I thought, because I was trying to tell through the picture. Okay.
Yeah, so beautiful puzzle. And then I went to open it up when I had hip surgery, so I was like kind of really had to sit still for a while. I opened it up, and then I start looking at these tiny little pieces. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't for me. I wanted the one that's like the wooden puzzles, like the little kids play with. Where it's like
the pieces like this. I nailed it. 3 pieces done.
I want like the alphabet puzzle. Okay.
Just to make sure you don't put the duck in upside down. The hand
That's right.
Spin it.
Yeah. Unless you really jam it in there, and the duck will work. Yes. Yeah. And he's got a bent neck, but he's fine.
Yeah, it was.
It looked like a nightmare. Puzzle. That's why I wanted to ask about it.
Can I say it was very intense, and I haven't done a puzzle in so many years since I was young. So my daughter and I did the puzzle. It took us 4 days, and I'm not saying that somebody lost the pieces when they first opened it, but there's nothing like getting to the end of a 4-day puzzle and 2 of the pieces were missing.
Oh no.
And so I walked around this house.
Whatever, the people that sent it did that.
I walked around this house like a psychopath, looking under every rug, for an hour.
With a flashlight, people.
They're like, it's not going to be there. And sure enough, it wasn't.
With a flashlight, he was crawling on the floor looking for the extra puzzle pieces.
Yes. Actually, this morning I got up. I thought I had an idea of where it might be, and it wasn't there.
So crazy.
Anyway,
I want to give a shout out. I want to get a shout out to Nick real quick. Thank you for joining the show, sir. I appreciate it. Hello.
Hello, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
I do want to know at the end of all this how many puzzles were either like thrown in the garbage, lit on fire, buried in the backyard. I can't wait to find out. There's going to be so many pissed off people with puzzles. I just saw one the other day where it was like it was almost all done except for this, like all the bottom was snow. And it was all these white pieces that looked exactly the same. And they just had it off to the side. I'm like, no,
my gosh.
I'd light that thing on fire in a heartbeat.
I actually saw somebody that I seen that one. I saw someone that had a whole huge like kitchen table full of Disney puzzles, and they did them all like real Disney ones,
So it was fun to do that one with my daughter, and the time spent together was great. And what better time to do it? But I will tell you this, that one went directly in the garbage
in the trash.
Couldn't find the piece.
We recycled the cardboard box, though.
I said, this is why we stick with video games around here.
Right? It was such a pretty picture, too. I love that art style. My wife has a couple of those. I don't think she has that one specific, but she has a bunch of them.
Very whimsical, kind of, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the guy that does that does a lot of their stuff. It really is. And from far away, it looks really crisp, like a Pixar picture. But when you get up close, it's a real painting with all kinds of colors in it. Yeah. And because it's so blown up on a puzzle, it makes it really hard to tell where those little tiny pieces. You can appreciate that as an artist where, it's so blown up that it's, it's fuzzy almost.
Oh, Vicky joined us. Hello, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky. Thanks for stopping in. And a longtime fan of mine, Kim, popped in. So thank you, Kim, for joining. I hope you guys are all enjoying the show. So just to let everybody know, I am sitting down and chatting with Dan and Anjee from It's All Fine and Danjee podcast. That's a lot to say.
It's a mouthful. I know.
That one rolls right off the tongue.
Rolls right off.
Wrong.
Rolls right off. It doesn't. Yeah, it hurts. Let's see. These puzzles are lent from library. Oh, I did not know that. Sage says that you can get a puzzle lent from the library. Not sure if they would be working with the virus, but that's still pretty.
That's good to know, though.
I see it being one of those annoying ones, though, like you guys just had, where you go and rent it and it's missing a part, and then you can't light it on fire because it's part of the libraries, and they'll get all pissy with you
because you get that library fee.
Yeah. What's the library fee for a burnt puzzle? I'm sure it's like $5 or something. What's up, GW Pomature, the award-winning, not Lord, but definitely Pop of awesomeness. Good to see you, sir. Billy brings him up. I got to take him down. So that's what my show is for.
Oh, look!
And I just see him.
Happy, shiny people holding hands.
There she goes. Is
that a good one?
She walks around the house singing random old songs.
Nice.
That's what I do.
I like it.
It's fantastic.
I like it.
I'm putting a video together. Hidden video clips.
I would like to. That would be a really good soundtrack, by the way. So you should have started that a long time ago since I met you.
All the songs
putting all the songs together that I sing.
When you catch me recording you singing, you're always telling me to stop. So
it's always like when I'm doing a Disney song or something. Like I'm all animated and I'm really getting into it, like Little Mermaid song.
I just see your hair flowing in the wind, and
she is just...
I go put the mermaid suit on and
or she'll have her AirPods on and like cleaning the house, and I'll hear like a random curse word. And I'm like, is she mad? It's just the song.
Yeah, I randomly hear my wife when she gets in the mood to clean, she puts the headphones on and she just starts, and you just hear her randomly singing. And I'm like, you just do you. You're actually cleaning, so we're good.
Yeah, it gets you get them cleaning juices flowing with that music, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
house gets cleaned real good.
Sure does, yeah.
So we kind of teased it a little bit before, but we can definitely get into it a little bit more now. You guys have gotten roped into CyberCon. For those that do not know, CyberCon is this weekend. I can't believe it's finally happening. It feels like it's been building up for a year, and it's only been building up for a few weeks. But CyberCon is April 17th through the 19th. We're starting at noon and going 56 hours straight until Sunday at 6 p.m. with a live stream on Facebook Live. It is going to be filled with a ton of different guests, creators, artists, panels, random people. I don't know if everybody's going to be wearing pants or not. It's still kind of up in the air. But I will be a part of it. Hanging with WebTV, Kitchen Killers, and It's All Fine and Danjee is going to be part of it. So when are you guys going to be on in all this chaos?
So we are on Saturday, April the 18th from 3 to 4. And I think we are in, oh gosh, Sage is going to kill me. Is it Hall H? Is that the main hall?
I think you are in the main hall.
This, people. Yes, I'm still understanding. I'm trying to grasp my head. This is way larger than what we're used to.
I just make sure all the technical stuff works, and I just look at her to tell me when to be there.
So Sage sent over like you got to log in here, and I'm like, you read that. I can't. I'm just gonna show up. Hi guys.
Oh, you got it.
And Sage said you were right. So yes, you were in the main feed, the Hall H as we're calling it. And that will be the main show that goes on. And we're just going straight from different shows to different shows. So you guys will be on Saturday, 3 to 4. What is your plan? What are you guys chatting about? What's the craziness going on?
Since we focus focus on community. Our panel is called the Community Call Out. That's actually the middle section, or the middle segment of our show is called the Community Call Out. That's where we are calling out our community as far as who's in, interviewing guests, what's going on. And we're going to focus on those that are really doing some good things in the community right now through all this craziness. Yeah. So that's going to kind of be our focus. Yeah.
I like how you guys are doing so like nice and something nice and sweet with your hour, and then I got the 2 hour and late nights thing, and it's just going to be curse words crazy.
Oh, it's great.
It's going to be just a chaotic mess.
So we are a registered clean podcast. Because of our involvement with a lot of the local charities and a lot of the local charitable organizations like that. Some of them don't really want to deal with you if you're a little too colorful.
Yeah,
but it's funny.
That's why I'm not allowed.
We are normally colorful. We're normally colorful.
I'm going to say this on your show, but we're normally very colorful. So it's taken. We have to remember when we're doing that. To keep it clean.
Yeah.
But I think we're pretty good. We've done pretty good at it. We're doing more live now. Our first 50 podcasts, I think we did maybe 5 Facebook Lives during all of that. Maybe a little more.
Yeah, and it was pretty much just us two that were doing it, like kind of how we are now, but we didn't really have we haven't had any guests that have done a live with us. So that's like Nick from Coffee Shop of Horrors. He was our first Skype call where we actually did an interview and had kind of had that experience. So that was kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I have to give a quick shout out. My dad is actually watching. I don't know if he stayed on very long, but a shout out to my dad up in Ohio saying, popping in. I appreciate it.
Perfect time talking about how clean we have this conversation.
He knows it's you guys and not me. He knows what all this is about. He usually disowns it most of the time. So no, it's but yeah, I'm really happy. It is. I read the CyberCon and Hangin with Wechat came out with the full list of Hall H shenanigans that are going on, and my cousin Sydney's watching too. Hi, Sydney. So
Hi, Sydney.
it is a huge array of different types of people, different shows, different things going on. I mean, you could tune in every hour and see something different. And like you guys are doing your community show. I'm doing the show that probably will not be talked about later. But it's very interesting. I know the people I invited to be a part of. So
didn't I see one that's going to be like dirty stories or something like that?
Yes, we have adult stories with Lauren Edinger.
Adult
story time. She's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so we're safe there. And then she's doing another panel where it's stories from the adult stories from the conventions, or behind the scenes stories of the conventions.
Oh, I love it.
Those stories could probably get I have some of my own of some weird and crazy stuff that has gone on at conventions. So I can't even imagine with a cosplay girl. And the cosplayers have a totally different life than an artist at a convention. Yeah. So
what's funny
insane.
is everybody always tells us, because we love Halloween so much, and I am big on making our own costumes, and
we are unrecognizable every year. You wouldn't even know it was us.
I need to see some pictures of this. This is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, and everybody always says, do you guys do cosplay? And I'm like, no, but I really think we should, because it would be like Halloween all year round. Like, seriously?
Yeah, and like you get away with it, and people don't think you're weird when you're at the Comic Cons. It's perfectly normal.
But I was never like a comic book reader or anything. I've never been to a Comic Con.
Oh, geez, we need to change that once all this. We'll you come with us. We'll have all kinds of fun.
Yeah, and I'm learning too, like Dan is a thriller writer, so we're kind of learning that a Comic-Con is a good place for an author that writes thriller books to be set up. So that is on our list this year, is to get Dan into some Comic-Cons, mega whatever. We're trying to get some feedback on that, of where the best places would be.
Yeah.
But that is going to be one of our goals this year, is to get some events in like that. Yeah.
I can get you a list.
I think. Oh,
cool.
Nice.
Cool.
So the other thing that we've kind of discovered through this, and I think we already knew that, but artists are my kind of people, your kind of people.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a sort of culture around, no matter what kind of artist you are, there is a creative spirit to artists that I just feel comfortable around those people more so than, maybe other things like sports or whatever. So So, you say the crazy stories from like Comic-Con, and I hear about all these people going, I'm thinking this sounds like it's right up our alley.
I love crazy stories.
Oh yeah,
they're
a lot of fun
crazy stories. They're for adult time.
Oh, we'll do an adult time one. Don't worry. There will be more shows of JBauerart, and
it's pixelate our faces out.
Yeah.
Oh, we can do those cool voice thingies. It'll be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll do the real deep voice, and you can do him with the real high voice. Yes. That'd be great.
Yes.
The witness protection.
Yeah. Witness.
Oh,
protection.
and GW in the comments already heard what you said, that you want to be a part of con, so you will be invited to the craziness of the Hanging with Web show booth. So yeah, we'll get you set up.
What did he say? Did he say buckle up?
Yeah,
taking these guys out to a con.
I don't need to buckle up, buddy.
A big shout out
I don't ride with a belt when it comes to crazy stuff like that.
We come off as such a clean cut couple from our podcast, don't we?
Yeah, I can't wait to hang out with you outside of this, because you guys definitely do. I was a little nervous doing this show, and it's always different doing new shows, because that's why I love doing podcasts so much, because you don't know what you're walking into. I very rarely listen to a podcast before I get onto it, because I'm better when I'm just winging things and going back and forth.
Yep.
I do a little bit better when I get on a show and they're going, all right, you can say any swear word you want, and it's total chaos. I'm like, cool, let's go. And I bring the chaos.
I know that is something that we do have to do, that disclaimer at the beginning of our show, just to let you know we're a clean show, Yeah,
I'm totally glad.
It really was just for that community, really we knew that our focus, where we wanted to be kind of into helping the charities and stuff like that, driving more awareness their way. And, a lot of them are religious organizations or whatever it may be. They're dealing with children.
Right.
Not that any of that offends us or our children.
No.
But
you set that precedent. And there's, and I've told a lot of people, because they, I put on a little bit of a niceness at certain things or certain events, and try to clean it up a little bit, not by much, but some people, I've surprised some people, and then other people are like, oh, you're, because I will just, most of the time I try to be myself wherever I am, because I don't like putting on too much of a show. But I never go, like, even this show, it's like, this is just a shit show. It's me entertaining myself, bugging people to, why we're stuck indoors and can't go out.
Right. But you know what, though? I think you nailed something there, because what the biggest thing out of the whole podcast, and I think why we really thought we could do it after we first started talking about it, was Anjee, whether, when we're staying clean and we're not really cursing and all, that's still very authentically us. We just like to talk to people. Are we cursing like sailors in our normal life? Yeah, we do. I mean, that's just the way we are. But
I think I was a sailor.
I heard when you guys were trying to move stuff in there. So
I think it spills over, though, because, in my day-to-day job, I'm an IT director for an engineering firm, and I'm on the phone all day, and it's very professional, and it's conference calls, and it's all that kind of stuff. But I'm also like one of these people, I'm all tattooed up, and I'm all,
me too,
less professional in day-to-day life. But Anjee's teased me, because in the podcast, I think because I'm so used to talking all day about those kinds of things, the mannerism of the way I talk is a little more structured and organized.
Yeah.
So we'll be listening to one of the recordings, and she'll be like, oh, you keep it so professional. I'm like, oh, really?
I'm not professional.
But that's a good mix, because you have one that is and one that's not, and it's chaos.
Right.
Or you got that little.
He keeps us on track, because you only want to keep people about an hour on a podcast. They get kind of bored after that.
Yep.
So he keeps us on track for the hour. For the most part, because he can get to talking, and we like to talk. We do like to talk.
Well, I would hope so. That would be awkward if you didn't.
Yeah.
No,
just
but I mean, we like to talk in terms of, anywhere we go, we'll be stuck. I'll be stuck in somewhere talking to somebody because I can't stop talking, and she's the same way, and that's really helped with just sort of and every guest that's been on, especially those that we've met in person, we're flattered, because after it's over, they're like, I really had a good time. This was really fun. Even people that were kind of resistant.
That's our favorite part, because a lot of times when we ask a guest to be on the show, a lot of them have never been on a podcast or even heard of a podcast.
Right.
And they're like
Billy Floyd, he's never heard of one.
No.
Nah.
Never.
That damn troublemaker. I mean, hey, Billy, how are you? Good to see you, sir.
Oh, snap. But what we love is that that has been one of our favorite parts too, is every time that we're done, everybody's like, oh my God, we had so much fun. Like it was just fun. It was easy. And that's how we want people to feel, because we want to really bring out the uniqueness about them, or just make them feel comfortable, so that it's just like they're having a conversation with their best friend.
Yes.
That's how we want it to feel.
I've been on several different podcasts, several different types of things that are podcasts, and I've gone to the really awesome ones, and I've gone to the not so awesome ones. And it's really cool when you get in with a group of, a couple of people or whoever it is hosting the show, and it's just chilled and relaxed, and you can have just that basic conversation. Even if it's more of an interview type one, they can ask the questions but still make it just a chatting back and forth between people, and it's always much nicer and very cool.
I think genuine interest helps too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you gotta have, and that's why I'm kind of picky with who I have on right now, because I'm still learning how to be a host and still trying to get a feel from it. And so far, everybody I've had on, it's good back and forth, that I can, and I feel like I'm getting better with each episode as doing this. And not making.
I would. I would say one of the things that I always suggest is get to know about the business or whoever you're going to talk to, but not too much.
Right.
Because I think in the beginning we were like delving into, okay, what's this person all about? And, really I got to know, so that we can really, give a good interview. And I think it made us lose some of the surprises.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So now we'll look up a little bit on the website if we don't really know them, or we just reached out, because I found out about them through someone. Look up a little bit of info on them, just to know the basics. And then we want that to be really like organic when we're talking to them.
Yeah.
So that when we ask a question, it's genuine. We really want to know this about you.
And we go off script. I mean, we have a handful of questions that we have sort of outlined ahead, just in case.
That's what I've been doing.
Up.
You have to. You have to. Otherwise, 3 hours
you're just
later,
staring at them.
You're still going.
Yeah, but if you get a guest that is shy and they don't say too much, then you have to be ready with the questions. But most of the time, like Anjee said, we jump off, and because if you're genuinely interested in your learning, then I'm just asking more about what you do and how did it work,
and that's what brings people out. When they really because anybody you're interviewing is interested in what they're being interviewed about, their business or their art or their book or whatever it may be.
Right.
You really just start focusing on that, and it comes out because it's their passion. So that passion just starts flowing, and you can hear it in their voice. And usually after the first 2 questions is when it really kind of they start getting.
Gotta get that icebreaker kind of things.
Exactly. Yeah. So Billy and Garrett are saying that they are definitely taking us to one of the cons. They're very excited about that. So
I'm excited.
We will make it a whole thing. We will have way too much fun and cause all the trouble. So we will, like they said, trouble. One of us. So
if we're not getting in trouble, we're not having fun.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I keep telling everybody, and then I just keep getting yelled at. What the hell?
Like we got to break a rule. Like it has to happen. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Like that rule has to be broken tonight. It just has to happen.
Oh yeah.
Like Anjee says, when it says no trespassing, then you want to go, well, what's over there? Let's
go
over there.
Like, what if I just put a toe right there?
What are you trying to keep me from over there? I need to see.
So one last question, and then we'll plug all of you guys in. But back to CyberCon for a little bit. You guys are part of it on April 18th, which is Saturday, 3 to 4, doing your show, which will be fantastic. Other than your guys' show, is there anything you're really looking forward to seeing through the weekend? Because, there is a lot to see over the weekend.
I think there is just such a huge variety that I know I'm not going to be able to sit there for 56 straight hours, even though I know Terry and Jen probably will be.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting for 56 hours just watching. But the dirty adult stories,
nice.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that should be fantastic.
I think some of the cosplayers that are going to be on there, I'm very interested in checking them out.
Same.
Of course, I can't remember all the names that were on that paper, but
there's
so many different.
There's the cosplay contest that's at noon to 1:30. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to work, because I've seen cosplay contests all through conventions. I've seen big, magnificent ones. I've seen ones that are just like, ooh. I've seen the whole array, but I've never seen a virtual digital one, and they're adding some different things that you normally don't see. The background is going to matter for your cosplay. So if you have a cosplay with a background, yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So I'm
So
really
that's going to
looking
be,
forward
is
to
that
that.
going to be like green screens or just being creative, just however?
I think it's however they can be creative. They're going to bring them on. That's part of the department where I'm just watching. I have no idea how it's going to work.
You're just going to enjoy the show.
Yes. And then, I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I can't wait to kick it off at noon. I took Friday and Monday off so I can be a part of it as much as possible.
Nice.
So I will be there right at the beginning of noon. And then, we've got all kinds of craziness. So let's plug you guys first and let everybody know where they can find your podcast. And then I'll do the CyberCon stuff right afterwards. So I'm going to put you guys full screen for a bit.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey, one more thing about CyberCon. I think of it almost like a telethon, and we'll probably just have it running in the background all weekend.
Yeah.
Just, here and there.
Go ahead.
So where to find us? So you can find us at fineanddanjee.com. That's FINEANDDANJEE. And there's links on our website to our actual podcast. We're all on all the major platforms like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and such. We have a new episode that comes out every Thursday. We have a guest almost every week. And
if we don't have a guest, it's us.
Yeah. But we typically do. We're usually booked up about 2 months out. And if you know someone that wants to be a guest, or you think you want to be a guest, if you have a small business or an artist or
anybody local,
it
doesn't even have to be local. I mean, but we like to focus on local. And then all of our social media, Fine and Danjee.
That's it.
Danjee, DANJEE. Got to get that in everybody's head because it's a strange name, and I have a story behind it. So there we go.
Around your name, ANJEE.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, we'll have to tell you that story sometime.
Definitely, I definitely want to hear it. I probably will have you guys back on again because who knows how long my show's gonna last. I don't have really plans for it. It just keeps kind of going as.
I'm sure it will.
As long as you're having fun doing it. I mean, we have a ball, and we're looking forward to it. We already got plans for our 100th episode. Like we're gonna do something special.
We have a bottle of wine waiting for that episode.
Yes, we do.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for being on. I greatly appreciate it. This was very cool.
Thank you.
And I would like to be a guest, by the way. I don't know if we can make it happen or not. I know you're busy. I'm busy.
Yeah.
Wait.
You in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We can do it.
30 minutes. Oh, cool. Awesome. I really appreciate that. Is really nice of you guys. That is great.
You are welcome. I mean, we're going a little bit out of our way, but
yeah. I'll slide you the funds and the bribe money, and we'll make it happen.
You got it.
But
that'd be nice.
Yeah, we're not just joking. For people that are not in the know, we are actually going to be doing. This is the crossover show. We did Back Talk with Bauer first, and these guys have been gracious enough to be guests and put up with my hosting shenanigans tonight. And I greatly appreciate it. We're going to take about a 30-minute break, and at 8:30, we're going to go live on the Facebook page of It's All Fine and Danjee. And we will be doing this again, but they are going to be the host that way. There we go. And then I'm going to be the interviewee person of things. And we're going to apparently talk about my artwork and all kinds of other stuff. So
yes, we are.
Make sure to tune into that. Make sure this Friday, CyberCon starts Friday at noon. I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear nothing. Come in and watch. We're there all freaking weekend until Sunday at 6 p.m. There's stuff going on the main freaking weekend. Oh, and it's also a comic-thon. #comic-thon. I know there's some people that don't like it, so I'm going to continue to use it. But please tune in. I am actually, let's see, I got to remember all my schedule. I am live painting with the Kitchen Killers Friday night at 9:05 live. It's going to be a split screen like this. Kitchen Killers on one side doing their show. I'm live painting on the other side. I actually have a commissioned piece to paint Friday night, and it is something I have never painted before. So it's going to be really cool. It is a 24 by 36 inch canvas. It's actually bigger than I normally do. So we'll see if I can get it done in an hour and a half.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, when you throw money at me, challenge definitely accepted.
That's right.
So, and then Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., I am live painting because I got the short end of the stick of doing things. But I'm going to be live painting that morning. Saturday night, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., I am hosting a podcast super show. It's going to be myself with Back Talk with Bauer, Patricio from With a Side of Chaos, John Hanan and Pizza Peisenberg from Funny to Informing, and Rocky from What's the Fuss.
Oh, cool.
3 really big podcasts and 1 teeny tiny podcast, all working together to entertain you guys. We are the kickoff to the nighttime adult time. So as soon as you see our pretty faces on the screen at 9, send your kids to bed. And then
put
I will
the parental advisory thing right across the screen. Let them know.
I'm going to be wearing my parental advisory shirt. So people, just send them to bed. You know, there'll probably be a swear word like first 5 seconds of the show. So hopefully they'll get it then.
It'll probably get the point across. Yeah.
And then I am live painting again, another early morning. So make sure to have your pajamas and Cocoa Puffs, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Sunday morning.
Ooh, that's
I will
early.
be live painting
both mornings.
Oh yeah. I helped come up with the idea, and then they're like, "Hey, the time slots are filling in pretty fast, and I usually like 2 hours. So all I had was 6 and 7 in the morning." I'm like,
sorry,
cool.
Josh, I will not be up that early.
I will be up that early, so
I won't even be up that early. I'm gonna be like just
I'm like
sleeping.
an old man. I get up early on weekends, so I'll definitely check it
Just
out.
tell
I
me what you're going to
appreciate
be
it. Thank you.
painting, and I'll dream about it.
Yes. So and then there's tons of other stuff, and we're all raising money to donate to the Center for Disaster. Crap.
Philanthropy. We try
Thank
to
you.
have trouble
That
It's a
with.
hard one.
That word, COVID-19 Response Fund. We got to shorten that, and I got to figure out a different word for that one. We're donating it to Disaster of Phils because
There you go.
I paint pretty pictures. I don't read. But we're raising funds. We're entertaining people and entertaining ourselves. That's going to be the whole weekend. And if you like any of the artwork behind me or any of the stuff I do, or just really like me, follow me at JBauerart at all the things, all the stuff. And you can catch the replay of this if you missed anything of it. You can catch it Thursday at noon on the Hangin with Web Show YouTube channel. Again, thank you, Dan and Anjee. I greatly appreciate it. I think I'll be talking to you guys very soon. So have a good night, everyone, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks.